Prehistoric Britain, England. It is estimated that several species of humans have occupied Great Britain for almost a million years. Prehistory is commonly divided into three ages: the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, and the Iron Age. The Stone Age is further divided into three periods as well, and these are the Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic. At least 9 distinct waves of peoples arrived from southern Europe to Britain. Around 900,000 years ago, during the Paleolithic Age, the earliest evidence of human occupation is close to the village of Happisburgh in Norfolk, where 78 flint artifacts were found. 15 years ago, there were prehistoric peoples that left only stone tools or bones as the evidence of their advance. Regarding climate, Britain was inhabitable for long periods due to the low temperatures with a tundra habitat. Around 10,000 BC, as the Ice Age came to an end, Britain was peopled by small groups of hunters, gatherers, and fishers. These marauders had used flint arrowheads and carved reindeer antlers as axes to hunt the animals that inhabited the land, including red deer and elephants. Mesolithic people occupied Britain by around 10,000 up to 4,000 BC. These people cleared the woods and forests by burning in order to build settlements. The Mesolithic English lived on the shore of a lake and used canoes to travel over the lake. These early English peoples have been called hunter-gatherers, with dogs employed for hunting, but they were not considered undisciplined nomadic wanderers. Activities were performed within defined boundaries, and they liked the areas where land and water meet. They used barbed antler points, flint knives, and scrapers. They also started fires with iron pyrites. There is no much evidence about them, for their remains are beneath the sea. Around 4,700 BC, Neolithic or New Stone Age people crossed the sea from Europe in small round boats of bent wood covered with animal skins, and these ships could carry 1 or 2 people. The woods and forests of the country were cleared, and wheat, barley, and corn crops were harvested. They kept pigs, goats, and sheep, and this leads to the beginning of farming. This was a time of rising temperature, and the proportions of people increased. Seafaring visitors contributed to the landscape by bringing over these animals like sheep, which were not native to the island. The slow expansion of farming can be dated from 4000 BC. Some of the traces found in the Neolithic period are burial mounds, and these rounded hills had fences beneath. Other significant traces connected with this period are the remains of dwellings and scattered farmsteads with settlement pits. And this is how the English developed what people call the English village nowadays. Also, roads and pathways were built to link settlements and farmsteads. This is why commerce of all kinds was increasing throughout this relatively long period. Regarding religion, the barrows or stone monuments where acts of ancestor worship were performed are found throughout the land, and all roads lead to the building of Stonehenge, part of the greatest of all sacred sites to which the chiefs of other groups came from all over Britain. Concerning authority and range, there was a hierarchical society with tribal and priestly leads. Inhabitants were under the guidance and protection of leaders who were rich in land and in cattle. The Bronze Age is an era of British history that spanned from about 2000 until 400 BC. Around this period, the first metal weapons and jewelry began to arrive. Round-headed and tall people arrived in southeast Britain from Europe, and they are called the Beaker people. These people probably spoke an Indo-European language and brought skills to make bronze tools, which began to replace stone ones. The movement from bronze to iron revolutionized technology. These metals were simultaneously in use since this change took hundreds of years. The period of human history when the use of iron became widespread is called the Iron Age, and it began around 800 BC. People learned how to use iron and it made farming much easier. The clearance of woodland and forests continued and the land was farmed extensively. Certain hill forts had become dominant and assumed the role of regional capitals. Leaders and tribes were specifically associated with certain regions, and this organization strengthened over hundreds of years. Around 700 BC, another group of more technically advanced people began to arrive. Many of them were tall and had red hair and blue eyes. These were the Celts, who are believed to have come from Central Europe or further east, from southern Russia. They began to control the lowland areas of Britain and knew how to work with iron. They could make better weapons than people who used bronze. Over the next 700 years, the Celts arrived in one wave after another. A warrior class ruled over the ancient Celtic tribes, of which the Druids seem to have been members of a high-ranking class. Druids were religious leaders as well as legal authorities, medical professionals, and political advisors. Even though they could not read or write, they memorized all the religious teachings, the tribal laws, history, or medicine. The Druids practiced divination, magic, and astrology, worshipped the sun and the moon, and believed in the immortality of the soul that passes through various incarnations. By 100 BC, Rome began to take interest in the land because of their source of wealth and trade. The Romans chose to invade England because it was a wealthy and flourishing country, and, due to this invasion, the Iron Age ended in 43 AD.